they can't tame us. Don't give 'em a reason to take us. Time is now, no time to wait up. Keep it raw, uncut, sit down.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a long-awaited podcast. I have been out the loop for quite some times, but I am back. I am better than ever, and I am back with a special guest that we're going to get real in-depth and real uncut about a lot of topics in this conversation. So I just want to introduce Fell Forward Inc.'s owner, Chetney Stone. How are you doing tonight?
I'm well. Thank you for having me this evening.
And no problem. Thank you for being my guest. So let's get right to it. So I read up about you, and it said that you had 24 hours to live.
Yes, I was involved in a really bad car accident, and they didn't think I was going to make it because I went into cardiac arrest. I also went into cardiac arrest while being operated on. Ended up in kidney failure, on dialysis, needing 2 blood transfusions. I mean, it was crazy, 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 crazy. Lost 3 days of my memory. But I'm here, God is good.
Absolutely, all the time, all the time. So what changed your life after the accident?
The fact that I walked away from that, not really walking away from it, because my leg was cut open in 3 places, causing paralysis in my leg down into my foot. So I have what's called a foot drop, and I'm not able to dorsiflex my foot or move my toes. My mobility has gotten better, I will say that, and my range of motion in my foot is definitely improving.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Well, I'm glad you was able to, overcome that, because I can imagine it took a bigger toll on you mentally than anything else.
It did. It was excruciating. The pain was truly something that's unbearable, but I had to bear because there was no other option.
So from there, what was life like after that?
Oh my gosh, it was still chaotic. I lost my restaurant. I lost my apartment. I was 2 months in the hospital. So just imagine, not only do you wake up not knowing what the heck happened, you wake up and you lose everything, to the point that my son and I had to go into a DV shelter. But to God be the glory, we found an apartment, and we've been settled in for a couple years now. So I'm grateful for that.
Okay, so let's go a little before that, because you said you lost your restaurant. So what was life before the accident?
Oh my gosh, it was hectic. Owning a restaurant is not an easy thing. It's not for the faint at heart. If you don't love cooking, if you are not in that field, it's intense, but it was great. It was magical. I am a trained pastry chef, so owning a restaurant and running my cake business out of the restaurant was just amazing. Being a mom, absolutely wonderful.
So how were you able to obtain the restaurant, being a pastry chef? Like, how were you, what was the steps that you took from getting to being a pastry chef to actually owning your own restaurant?
So, I have a novelty cake business, and we have a good price point, right? And I was using a ghost kitchen. And what that is an incubator kitchen where it's a shared commercial space. So it affords you the opportunity to grow your brand while also not having the weight on your shoulders of having a brick and mortar. So from there, I began expanding and expanding. And of course, my rent, increased with that because it's hourly. And make a long story short, I prayed and I said, God, I want a place. I don't want to pay any more than $1,200. And God blessed me with a restaurant, and that was the exact amount of my rent.
So everything worked out in that sense.
It sure did.
So what was the hardest part about being a pastry chef and owning your own business?
Being a one-woman show, you know, trying to keep the one band, one sound. That was the hardest part. But then once I expanded, it was like the sky is the limit.
Mm. So after the accident, how because I can imagine that was you would probably be at your lowest point, everything you say, losing the business and losing your apartment and stuff like that. What gave you the strength to keep going? What gave you the strength to just tell yourself like it's not over, like you still have life? Like what was that like? What was those points in your brain like?
Well, it was definitely difficult at the beginning, but I mean, not even so. I don't want to say it was just challenging. However, what kept me going is my faith, my strong belief in God, my strong belief in, faith without works is dead. And I just knew that better days were ahead. And the individuals in the hospital, the nurses, shout out to everybody at Trinitas because they saved my life. Um, and all the nurses were so compassionate. And I had 24-hour care, which was amazing, So that's what helped me push through. And while I was in the hospital, the priest would come see me every day. He would pray. And then a nun would come in and give me communion. So that's what helped, keep me grounded, and also having the love and support of my family and friends.
Okay, awesome. So now, to a lot of people, like you mentioned faith. How
Mhm.
important is faith to you?
Oh my gosh, it's the number one thing. It's the number one thing on my list. It's extremely important. Without it, I can't move, and my relationship with God is amazing. And I wish the same for everyone else that's watching this podcast. So faith is the number one priority for sure, hands down.
Mm. So with all of that, getting yourself back together, getting your life back together, actually, besides everything else, but getting your life back together first and foremost. How did Faith Forward come about?
Well, I realized that while I was in the hospital, my landlords, the one from the restaurant and my apartment landlords, decided to evict me while I was in ICU. And nobody went to advocate for me. And then I realized that what I needed in my life was more of me, but not just me personally, but more people in my life like me, someone who's resilient, who is relentless, who's ruthless, to a point. Um, and I just decided, you know what, I want to be an advocate. But see, it wasn't supposed to start off like this.
Hmm.
It was just supposed to be, connecting one person to another, right? Because I'm the plug. Let's just be real. I know a lot of people. I run a lot of small circles, and it was supposed to be something where it's like if you were to come to me and say, "Hey, I need a guest for my show." Okay, bet I got somebody for you. And you know what? Actually, I do
Oh,
have
well, we'll
somebody.
talk about that then. That's good. We'll
Thank
talk
you.
about that.
But then what ended up happening is that it was a resource portal, right? That's what my company began as. And then all of a sudden, a missing persons case fell in my lap. And next thing you know, I'm doing search and rescue. So
Mm.
they say, tell God your plans. If you want to make God laugh, tell God your plans.
Hmm.
That's
So there you go.
exactly what that
That was
was.
actually going to be my next question: the missing persons.
Mm.
How did you get into that? And like, I'm not going to ask like what's the purpose, because we all know what the purpose of finding missing people are. But
Right.
like, how did you get into that, and how successful has it been so far in finding missing people?
So it was just again by chance. I have an aunt who her daughter is missing or was missing because I found her. She was missing out of Newark, New Jersey. And the mom lives in Kansas. And long story short, the mom went to her local police station to file a report because Newark refused, I mean, absolutely refused to take a missing persons case over the phone. So I stepped in and I said, you know what, let me bridge this gap, because that's essentially what fail forward is. And it ended up being like private investigator work, reaching out to local hospitals, shelters, you name it, seeking advice from mentors. And I ended up finding her. It wasn't supposed to be this, but again, you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. This is the first missing person search and rescue that I've had as a case. There is someone that is currently missing, a young lady from 174th Street in the Bronx, and I'm just awaiting some more information about her, because I do want to help, having that experience.
So how would people be able to get in contact with you if they have a family member or they know someone that's missing?
Well, they definitely can reach me on Instagram. My handle is listed under my name. Definitely one of the best ways to reach out, or you can email us at stone, STONE, at failforwardinc.com.
Okay, I'll put that one on when I edit it and put up clips. I'll definitely put that under there.
Okay.
How rewarding is it to know that your purpose is taken, like, meaning like when you go to look for a missing person and you help find this missing person, like how rewarding does that make you feel as a person to know that you helped somebody who probably didn't have any resources to be able to do this on their own?
It's surreal. It really is, because I still can't fathom that little old me, achieved something so magnificent. I'm very humble, and sometimes humble to a fault, but it definitely feels surreal. I definitely cried. I definitely got on my knees and prayed and thanked God. It's rewarding, though. This is something that I knew that I wanted to do since the age of 8. I wrote an essay that said, when I grow up, I'm going to be a model, a baker, and a lawyer. Well, I don't want to be a lawyer anymore. I would prefer to be a paralegal, because I am ruthless and I don't want to have to be constricted by, the rules of the Bar Association. But I did the modeling at 13. At 18, I became a pastry chef, and now here I am.
So of all the dreams that you've had so far, do you feel like this one might be the most like satisfying to the soul?
It definitely is. It is absolutely rewarding. I've always hated injustice. I can't stand it. I don't understand it, but I know that a lot of it goes on in our world. So here I am, just trying to make a difference.
Speaking of making a difference, your shirt.
Oh,
Justice
yeah.
for Richard Barge. I want
Oh,
you to
look at
get
my
in.
nails. Want to see my nails? It says free,
Oh,
rich.
oh,
Shout
nice.
out to
Nice.
Nail by Alicia, who hooked me up with these nails for this podcast.
Nice, nice. So let's get into this in depth about Richard Barge. Can you let my people on this podcast know the injustice that is going on with him right now?
Yes. So Richard Barge is, or has been, wrongfully convicted. He has served 18 and a half years in prison on a 57-year sentence for a crime he did not commit. And what's worse about the situation, or what makes it worse about the situation, that there has been coerced testimony, and some really bad scumbag cops. I'm sorry. I'm gonna call a spade, and we're from the Bronx, so how we give it up.
Absolutely.
So yeah, James Bruno, for instance, He's the one that had an in-house informant give a testimony, the prosecutor's office in Camden. I don't understand how you are prosecuting someone who has been deemed innocent by the Conviction Review Board. I don't get how you have suppressed exculpatory evidence. I don't understand how you're not following the New Jersey Constitution, because don't let me start. Listen, there is a constitution for each state, and many people don't know that. It's not just the federal constitution. And I'm not talking about just violation of rights, violation of due process. I'm talking about him being a victim of a crime because of the systemic stereotypes, racism, corruption, insidious behaviors that go on in the police department. I mean, how can a police officer tell someone, and we know that they do this all the time, but it's still not right. How can you tell someone, I don't care if you did this murder or not, I'm going to still pin this on you? How is that? How does that equate to him not being a victim of a crime? You know, the New Jersey Constitution states that a victim of a crime is not just physical injury, it's psychological. Can you imagine you being ripped away from your 2-year-old son who's about to be 20 years old? Ripped away from your mother, from your siblings, one of 5 children. It is absolutely flooring, heartbreaking, but that's okay, because I am just as ruthless, relentless, resilient. Just as much as they want to convict him or keep him there, is 30 times more do I want to get him home and free so he can be with his son and his mother and his siblings.
So my question is, what is it about this one in particular that you're so passionate about?
Well, first of all, this came across my feed, right? So you know how Instagram's algorithm or what have you. And Richard was holding up a shirt and it said, "Don't let them kill me." And I instantly freaked out. You know, another Black man, okay, with such a strong and powerful statement. I thought that something happened to him. I thought that somebody was posting to say, you know, this is something that he said, and then it ended up happening. But when I realized that that wasn't the case, one, I was so grateful to God, right, for protecting him and keeping him. But also, okay, I lost my train of thought.
No, we were saying what is so passionate?
So I ended up reaching out to the person that posted the video, and I said, let us help. And just the more information I received, I acquired, the knowledge that is also giving me the growth within myself. This one I really took to heart, and I have taken to heart. I mean, to the point that I've even cried about it. I mean, like for a whole day, just cried because of the injustice.
Has his family reached out to you? Like, are they helping you as well, trying to figure out like what is the best case scenarios in terms of like getting him out?
Well, definitely they have. I've been in communication with some of his closest friends. And his family members do know, what I've done thus far. We've made some really good headway this week, which I'm very proud of, as well as last week. He has an amazing attorney, Justin Bonus, who advocates in such a non-traditional way as an attorney. So I'm just, grateful that he does have that support system, and he has the whole Fail Forward team.
So he's been locked up for 18 years now.
18 and a half years.
On a 57-year sentence.
Talk about, excessive sentencing. Also,
and what did he go in for?
It was for a supposed murder case, but here's the thing. He was home recovering from a major, major injury to his torso. So there was no way that he could have been anywhere near the crime that happened all the way across town. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's like 170 and Gun Hill,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. That's a total way off.
Exactly. Well, so it's been a lot, but I'm here and I'm just excited, and I'm really proud of myself.
So what is he any closer to getting home?
Well, definitely he is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've definitely stirred some pots. I've gotten, a couple people scared, concerned, because I shook the ground from under their feet.
Mm.
I'm not from New Jersey. I'm from the Bronx. I'm from the concrete jungle where all we know is hustle. All we know is thrive. All we know is go hard and go harder every single day.
Mm. So that is
Oh, sorry to cut you off.
no, go ahead.
He does have a court date, June 12th. I
Mm-hmm.
am rallying as many people as possible. If you could please in advance take off from work and join me at the Camden courthouse in New Jersey. I will definitely share the information on my page. But if you could support, there's also a change.org petition where we're collecting signatures to show how many people are backing this movement. And we're using that to show, the judge, the prosecutor's office, and the powers that be that he's not alone. The community stands with him. And even like this shirt was made custom for me, but I'm so grateful because One Stop Print Shop gave it to me for free because they believe in me. They believe in the movement, and anything I'm passionate about, everyone around me is passionate about it as well.
Awesome. Yeah, we you just send me the information. I'll post it on my page too, like the links for the signatures and stuff like that. I'll definitely post it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
No problem. You also talk about you're in a contest right now.
Yes, and I was doing so well. Okay, so well, holding down first place. Okay, throughout the entire competition. Now we're in the quarterfinals, and I'm in 7th place. And there's only 8 contestants in this particular round. I don't know what's happening, but I definitely would love the support of the community if they could vote for me. It's called Entrepreneur of Impact of 2026. The winner gets a one-on-one coaching with Damon John from Shark Tank. A lot of you know who he is, as well as a spread in Forbes Entrepreneurial Magazine. And lastly, a $25,000 grant, which I would use to begin to create my nonprofit organization.
Does the nonprofit organization be also fail forward, or would it be something
else? It's along the lines of Fail Forward. Fail Forward Foundation is what it would be.
Okay.
Yes.
Fail Forward Foundation. That would be awesome, though. They also that don't really you're doing a real big help in the community, and it takes a lot for someone to do that. And like you said, standing up for the injustices. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of people out there who are probably not happy with what you're doing, but
Nate and I were talking about that today.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Are you ready for this?" And I said, "I was born ready. I know that it's happening, but guess what? I have nothing to hide. You're not going to find any dirt on me. I'm an absolute wonderful person, and not because I want to toot my own horn, but it's because I'm genuine, I'm loyal, I'm truthful. Things that you don't even find in today's society anymore."
Yeah, I mean, fighting for the injustice of someone it takes a lot, and there will be days where it probably will try to break you down mentally. And right now, it seems like you have them on their heels, and it seems like they don't want to have to deal with you and have to deal with all the extra stuff that, I mean, it's easy for them to feel like they can just walk away, or anybody would just walk away and just let this guy finish out, the remainder of his time. But obviously, you're fighting really hard to get this guy out, and I'm pretty sure that they're not appreciative of that because it becomes a lot more to deal with.
It sure does. I mean, but guess what? I'm just getting started. I'm just getting started. I do not care because what's right is right. And see, the sad part about it is that, excuse me, these individuals have taken oaths to uphold the New Jersey Constitution, yet clearly negating it by prosecuting our young Black and brown individuals, males especially.
Mm-hmm. So what is your future plans when it comes to fail forward, when it comes to the injustices, when it comes to the missing people? What is your ultimate end game?
I mean, I don't know that there will ever be
Bless
an
you.
end game, but I will say this: I am a paralegal in studies, and I am studying under Mr. Porterfield, who is an amazing paralegal. Someone else wrongfully convicted, freed himself from prison because he worked in the law library, studied as hard as he could, got his certificate, and he is teaching me so many things. So I don't know that there's an end game, but I do know that, being a paralegal is one of my goals, and then also becoming a private investigator.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So I usually close out. First of all, I want to thank you for being my guest, and I hope to have you as a guest again. Hopefully we can continue more about Richard Barge. You can let me know more about the stuff. I can post it on my page. But I usually end every podcast with asking this one question.
Okay.
You being the age that you are now, what would you tell your younger self?
Go, girl. Woo, woo, woo. You go, girl. You living the dream. This was you saying you were manifesting this your whole life. At 8 years old, I wrote that essay I told you about. So I would tell my younger self, that's right, baby. Keep dreaming, and keep pushing.
I like that. It's exciting, energetic too.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. But thank you very much for being my guest. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. And once again, everybody, justice for Richard Barge, please.
Yes.
Go to her page, and she has more information on him. I'll put it in the link and stuff like that. So you guys, if you want to see more about it and more about her, about Fail Forward Inc., I'll put it all into the socials and stuff. So once again, thank you very much for being my guest. I appreciate it.
Thank you. My pleasure.
All right. Have a good night.
You as well.
Keep it raw, uncut, sit down, talk it out, come together, we as men don't have to shoot it out.